What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, everybody? So we are back again for the second episode of the night. Let me tell you something. It's all these episodes gonna be over an hour long. I mean, I'm fine with it, but it's just probably because I'm tired tonight. It's after 12 o'clock. Girl, I'm dedicated. I'm dedicated. Anyway, cause y'all know y'all probably wanna get a guest today tomorrow. Pose season two, well, season three, episode two, intervention. Baby, let me tell you something. To the people of Pose, Janet Mock, all of y'all ain't have to do this to us. Like, this was heavy, okay? This was good. This was heavy though. Pose has always, it has not never been like a lighthearted show. It always, the issues that we needed to put out there that people try to like skim over, glance over, gloss over and all that stuff. But baby, for a comeback, god damn, okay, like I'm all cried out, all right, all cried out. Bitch, it's like, whoo, can I gather myself? Okay, I wasn't expecting to do all this crying tonight or whatever. But anyway, so we get into this episode, and this episode is called Intervention because at this point, everybody is concerned about Pray Tell. Blanca is sitting down there talking with Judy, and she's concerned about what's going on with him, and and realizing that they really need to do something. Like, they need to come together and do something before he truly goes off the wagon and hurt himself or whatever and hurt others. So they thinking about having this intervention, and Blanca has this lady, Lisa, who's a part of the LGBT community, and she's a counselor that works in the hospital or whatever, to come over and to, give them some advice and how to set up the intervention, writing letters to Pray Tell and stuff like that. Baby, how is it that you are going to an intervention, okay? You are going to a setup for an intervention for somebody else, and you come in there crack the fuck out, okay? Lulu and goddamn Angel. At this point, baby, I'm so disappointed. I'm so mad. I said, it's so much that's going on. I said, we got Pray Tell over here on the sauce, okay? And then come to find out that nigga been doing some drugs too, okay? Cause let Judy tell us, the last time that she spoke to him, they had a little falling out at a funeral that was for somebody that he actually dated, and he came there high and drunk, when she was like, it's disrespectful as fuck to come to a funeral high and drunk or whatever. On the one hand, you can't tell nobody how they grieve, but on the other hand, she right. I would have said the same thing. Don't come there messed up like that. You know what I'm saying? You smell it. It's coming out your pores and it's on your breath. And, you did it just wasn't right. Like, this is how low Pray Tell has sunk, And so Blanca is trying to nip that shit in the bud, at this point. And here comes Lulu and fucking Angel just cracked the fuck out. I said, oh my God. Oh my God. I said, listen, I can't deal with this no more. I cannot deal with this shit. Listen, I was looking at Snowfall. If y'all seen last season, not the season that just went off, but last season with what's her name, Melanie, when Melanie got hooked on that shit, bitch, in the way, girl, that shit hurt my heart. I said, and as quick as you did, bitch, she got hooked off of one fucking hit, and just couldn't stop. Okay, now the bitch all holier than thou. I was like, girl. And then the scene where Pray Tell gonna go to church, okay? Pray Tell gonna be up in church. I said, what the fuck is this, bitch? I mean, thank God or whatever, but, and I ain't saying it like, girl, what is, nothing negative. But I'm just saying, when people go through traumatic shit, most of the time they go back to God, okay? Because God has lost them, or they had lost God. That's what it is, you know what I'm saying? They let their demons take over, and that's what it seemed like. That was on a preview for what's coming up in the season. But anyway, that happened. I said, these bitch, and then Lulu was about to just light the pipe up. I said, oh, y'all didn't move from a lace weed blunt to an actual pipe. Bitch, she poured the pipe out right downstairs. Angel was like, girl, put that away. You can't be doing that right here, right now. Come on now. And then she gets upstairs and they on the roof and all this stuff, and they're talking, and Lulu is just making all these ignorant conversation, these ignorant comments or whatever about why we need to do this for Pray Tell, and oh, because he an Asian ass queen that can't keep his shit together or whatever, why we need to. I was like, girl, what? And I was so glad that Blanca stood up and said, bitch, if you don't want to be here, get the fuck out, okay? And you can see it in her face that she is on that shit, bitch. And I was just like, oh my God, this is a mess. So, Blanca started to read her story because that's what Lisa wanted her to do, read the letter or whatever. And they was going to be role playing, as if, Blanca was supposed to be Blanca, and then Lisa, the counselor, was supposed to be Pray Tell, and role playing as to how he might respond, because that's how addict responds. They get a little hostile, they in denial and stuff like that. And so Lisa said something after she read the letter, was like, bitch, how you gonna tell me about myself and all this shit? And Poppy got pissed. Poppy was like, you don't talk to my mother like that. And she was like, calm down, bro. We doing a role play. He was like, oh, okay, cool, 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 cool. I was like, Poppy don't play about Blanca. I love that shit, okay? But at this point, they trying to figure out how they're gonna pay for the rehab, okay? Because Electra said, bitch, first of all, what's good? She was like, she ain't no addict. We all go through stuff or whatever, but I'm not out here hitting the pipe. I'm getting older too, but I'm not out here, drinking my life away. And then Ricky was like, but bitch, you shopping, okay? You shopping and stuff. Look at you, and she did the fuck up, okay? She was very much Electra. And also in that scene, which this is one of the things that I did not like, but, I found out, on Twitter, because one of the producers or the writers of Pose, they put it because somebody had asked the question and they confirmed that this is the reason why Damon, last episode was the last time we're going to see Damon, okay? They basically wrote his character off. I'm glad they didn't kill him off, but they wrote him off. And Blanca was still in her feelings at this point. The reason why this intervention was so important to her too, because she lost Damon. Damon relapsed. And what I didn't like about this, I think he went back down to either South Carolina or North Carolina, whichever one, and was staying with his cousin, and he's not coming back. He relapsed into alcoholism, and I hope it was just alcoholism. They never really explained, no, they never explained where did it come from? Like, how did this happen? We're just going to assume that while he was over there in Paris, he just slipped away. You know what I'm saying? While he was on tour doing what he was doing, he just got involved in shit that he shouldn't have to cope and all this stuff. And, shit happens, and that's what it is. I wish they would have explained that a little bit more, since this episode really was about intervention. They could have went a little bit deeper, but maybe because they don't have that much time, they couldn't go that deep. But I didn't like, that's one of the main things, one of my main issues. I didn't like the way they just cut him off or whatever. But the reason why his character is gone is because while they were filming this show this season, during that period, especially right at the beginning or whatever, the actor who plays Damon, his sister was murdered. And I remember reading about this and seeing this. His sister was murdered, and so he was going through bereavement at this time, and that's why his character, I guess he decided not to come back, so that's why the character was written off. And after hearing that explanation, I would just give it a pass, but I still wish they would have went a little bit further into explaining how did he become an alcoholic, but either way, anyway, moving on from that. So they do all that, and they trying to figure out how they gonna pay for the rehab, because Alexa brought up to Lisa, so y'all got these little organization that's gonna pay for it. She was like, girl, what? No, we not finna do that, okay? She was like, come again, what? What? We not finna do, y'all not gonna do it, huh? Okay, so how much this gonna be? She was like 2,500 a month, and Electra was like, bitch, what? No, we can't pay for that shit. What the fuck? Pray tell. Ain't nobody got time for all that. How we gonna come up with this money? But then they came up with the conclusion, solution to the problem. Now that the balls are cash balls, let's win the balls. Let's bring the evangelistas back together. We're going to go in and we're going to be real about this shit. We're going to coach and all this stuff, and we're going to win the ball, win the money for each category. That's what we're going to try to do. And they was all here for it. So then we see, what's her name? Electra, she got Ricky in there doing his little thing with his voguing and dance routine or whatever, and trying to get him back into shape, we got Lulu and Electra, we'll get to them in a second. Electra trying to get use Poppy connections with the high fashion people or whatever to get a gown or whatever for Angel to walk faced and all that stuff. And Electra don't hold back. Take that shit back. It look like a dictatorship. Take that shit back. You look raggedy. You may not be no virgin, but that's the face of an angel right there. I was like, okay, cool. But speaking of Angel and goddamn Lulu, they over there at the goddamn house, okay? And Lulu up in there, and you can just tell she cracked out. Like, you could tell she high at this point. Her face, like she's putting on makeup, and her face still don't look like the regular Lulu face. Okay, the coloring is gone. She's getting black around her eyes and stuff. I was like, oh my god, bitch. Now I knew crack was crazy, but fuck, bitch, how long y'all been doing this shit? And I know Lulu been doing it longer than Angel has. And so, she's sitting up there talking about how, she passed the test at school, she get good grades and all this stuff, and she had to drop out or whatever because, how she's supposed to be successful when the teacher won't call on her because she clocked her or he clocked her or whatever. And Angel trying to tell her, bitch, how you know that's what it is, okay? She talking about calling the ACLU and all that stuff, calling it the UCLA and all that shit. But, at this point, Poppy comes home, okay? Poppy comes home. He sees what's going on. Like, he can just see it in them. Like, he don't see them actually, smoking up the crack or whatever, but he can see them in their appearance. Because at one point, Angel looked in the mirror and was like, bitch, you need to look at yourself, because Lulu called her crack lips, okay? And her lips did look a little chapped. They was chapped as fuck, okay? It was the crack lips. I said, oh my god, you are a model, girl. It was just reminding me of Gia, the model, okay? She was a cokehead and all that stuff, and the way that she went down, she died from AIDS, all that shit. If you ain't never see that movie, it's on HBO Max, I believe, with Angelina Jolie. That's one of Angelina Jolie's best performances, okay? Girl, that shit had me crying too. It will have you crying at the end. But anyway, moving on from that, Poppy basically told Lulu, I don't give a fuck where you go, but you can't be up in here, okay? Told Angel about herself. Listen, we might need to do an intervention for your ass because you up in here doing all this shit. I already told you about this crack shit or whatever, these drugs or whatever. I'm not getting married to you because if you're not off this shit, okay? That's not what's gonna happen. And she said something like her insecurities came out about whether or not he might be like, if he gonna leave her, and looking at other people and all that stuff. And he was like, I love you, okay? Ever since we got together, I haven't looked at nan other woman in the way that I look at you. And that boy started fucking crying, bitch. That was the first time I started crying in this episode. I said, oh my god, that scene was so deep, okay? He was confessing himself to her, confessing to love, and was just basically like, I need you to get clean. I'm trying to be here for you, okay? But you are fucking this up, and I need you to do better, all right? I'm here for you. I'm the support system that you need right now, okay? I want you to do better, but you have to want it for yourself. I was just sitting here like, we're not gonna do this. I was like, oh, that is love. But then, Electra was trying to get Lulu together. Lulu up there doing Tony Braxton, You Mean the World to Me. I believe it was You Mean the World to Me. Bitch, whichever song, Tony Braxton, the Tony Braxton album when she had the shortcut, you know what I'm saying? And Electra told her, girl, get the fuck up out of here, okay? Because you are cracked out. I need you to get up off that shit. You can't tell me, look at your skin, you don't, how many pounds you lost? And you're not eating, you're not getting any vitamin D, you're not getting no sun, you're doing this, girl, get off of it, okay? You are my daughter, and I'm telling you this because I love you, but you need to stop this shit. That's what you need to do. And so, the category that, Lulu was gonna do, she was doing, I guess, lip syncing or whatever, because she was lip syncing to Tony Braxton. Baby, they put Pray Tell up in there. Let me just tell you this. I said Pray Tell, not the drunk. Not the drunk. He gonna be sober enough to do this shit. But, baby, let me tell you this. I had forgot. Now, see, I'm finna go watch post season 1 and 2 all over again. Cause I had forgot that they be having the soundtrack jumping. The background music. Baby, they had Tony Braxton. They had In Vogue. They had Janet Jackson. They had two of Aaliyah's songs from her first album up on here. And I said, oh, Barry let that happen? But you can't put the shit on streaming service, even though I do think the first album is, because I do got that on my iPod, on my phone or whatever. But bitch, what? I said, oh my God. You know, the music is just everything, okay? It ain't that fake shit, it's the real shit. All right. But at this point, that's all what's going on. Angel trying to help Blanca get ready and, you know, to meet Christopher's parents or whatever. Baby, let's just talk about that, okay? First of all, Christopher parents. I don't know who the lady is, but you know, they like psychologists. The daddy is a psychologist. The mama is something, you know, up there, hoity-toity, bourgeoisie type of bitch, you know. Angel, not Angel, but Blanca kind of compared them to Cliff and Claire Hustable, okay? Bitch, when I seen who the daddy was, I said, Duda, I'm about to see you later this month for the Shy bitch. Look at you, still looking good. You look good. Okay. Y'all know I love me some Duda. Okay. I was like, all right, you know, and they meet up at the restaurant, and of course Blanca is nervous. See, that's one of the things that, you know, I don't like about dating and stuff like that. You got to meet the family, you got to meet the peoples and all that shit. Girl, I can do without that. I can do without that. I don't care, okay? Cause I don't want them judging me or whatever. That's my thing. But see, Blanca is in another situation because she is a trans woman and she don't know if they would know that or whatever. So it seemed like everything was going cute or whatever. But then it was the mom mostly that was asking all these questions, and she was being kind of rude. She was being nice, nasty with it. Okay. Now, if you would have been just a regular person and you didn't understand the situation or whatever, you kind of would have been like, I don't get what was wrong with the questions, but she was being nice, nasty with it, you know, asking her where she grew up at, and then when she said she was in the projects, and oh, you know, she kind of looking her nose down on her, you know, Blanca was a when Christopher said Blanca was an entrepreneur, you know, and she was like, yeah, I own the nail shop. You know, I can do something good about them cuticles, make your cuticles look actually healthy. Bitch, mama was looking down at her shit like, damn, like she did just come for me, because I did come for her, okay? Like she was judging Blanca, and Blanca wasn't here for it. I'm already nervous, and this was the main reason why I did not want to meet your parents, and the mama was just giving me all the type of tude or whatever, this judgment tude and all this shit, and it's like, where's this coming from? And then Christopher sitting there not really taking up for her, and, you know, so she's feeling some type of way about it. And so I was like, oh, that's fucked up. Meanwhile, you know, it didn't go, let's to say that it didn't go the way that she wanted to. So now it's time for the ball, okay? Blanca's, you know, telling what's her name? Electra and Angel what's going on. And they was basically trying to give her encouragement, you know, because what's her name? Just give her encouragement, like you out here raising kids and stuff. Oh yeah, that was one thing too. Blanca mentioned the fact that she had, you know, because the mama asked, do you want kids? She was like, you know, I got kids, you know, or whatever, that lived in the house with me and all this stuff. And then Christopher did explain to her what the house meant and all that shit. She was like, oh, so play kids? I'm talking about real kids and shit like that. And, you know, Electra went on this whole rant about, you know, we have to fight for our womanhood and stuff like that. And, you know, you need to confront him, nip that shit in the bud. Hi, yeah, girl, I love it when Electra be saying her shit, okay? Just tell him what's up, okay? He didn't stand up for you. He needs to be the man. If he want to be your man, you got to stand the fuck up for me, okay? We gonna nip this shit in the bud, bitch. But at the same time, I didn't know Castle, which was one of the dudes that was friends with Pray Tell, who's on the MC Cancel. He was sick. He also has AIDS, or, you know, HIV. And you know, he was at home, and Pray Tell was trying to get him out of the bed. And, you know, we see all the medications that he's taking, and, you know, he has a bottle of, it looked like Ambien and sleep pills or whatever. And he was like, it's a whole bunch of these pills over here. Why you haven't been taking them? He was like, you know, if I'm take them, I'm gonna save them from a later date. Basically saying, if the time comes, he gonna probably take his own life or whatever. If it gets really that bad, he gonna take his own life at the Four Seasons Hotel. So he basically gonna swallow all them pills and take his own life. And he took a methadone pill and he gave Pray Tell one. And I was like, oh, Pray Tell, you doing drugs, huh? Okay, we established this. So they get to the ball, and everything was going cute or whatever. The House of Khan, that the black girl Nefertiti, I think that's what they call her name. She get up there, they booing her, whatever's basically saying that she was cheap looking. Electra was walking against her, and of course Electra gets tens across the board. Nefertiti gets 666, okay, and then you got Ricky came out there, did his thing, got tens across the boards or whatever. Lamar comes out there. He's been throwing shots at Pray Tell and everybody. Like, I just don't understand why he has to be so nasty. Like, you get a little bit of power, you get a little bit of leadership, and you're just not setting the correct example. Like, you don't have to be so nasty and such a ass to people. And him and Pray Tell went against each other. Pray Tell won, you know what I'm saying, got all tens or whatever. He's cursing out the judge because calling her cockeyed because this is Lamar. He didn't get all tens. He got a 29. He got a 9. The last judge gave him a 9. Okay? And he just went off on her, and I was like, it was just, the attitude was just nasty. So him and Pray Tell get into it because, of course, he talked about something I want to recount because he can't believe that he lost to Pray Tell after calling him an Asian queen and all this stuff and whatever. He's very ageist, as if you ain't gonna be there soon, or at some time or another. I hate that. And so at this point, we got Castle there. He's sitting there drinking his drink or whatever. He has a seizure. Okay, they wouldn't let Pray Tell come with them. Of course, it was the paramedic got the mask on. They filmed this in the time of COVID, first of all, and also it's leading into the stigma about how they were still ignorant about how AIDS, HIV is transmitted or whatever, because that's why Pray Tell said you can't get it if you breathe it in and all that stuff. They wouldn't let him go. Blanca telling him, let's go back in here. We still got to win the ball or whatever. Castle will want that. And I was like, is the ball really all that life or whatever? Because, bitch, some of these questionable shit, I would have been like, fuck this ball. I got to go see my friend. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Pray Tell ain't had to play nothing else. He ain't had to participate in nothing else. So he could have went to the hospital to be by his friend's bedside or whatever. But, at this point, Lamar comes over there and tells Pray Tell why he's sitting down at the bar. First of all, the bartender looked like a Wade lookalike, okay? He was giving me Wade from Noah's Artiste a little bit, just a little bit thicker, okay? Now, I seen them old-ass cornrows. I said, I ain't seen cornrows like that since 2005. What the fuck is going on, okay? But this is 1994, so it fits. But anyway, Lamar comes over there starting his shit. First of all, he started off like, I'm sorry about what happened to Castle and, that had to, happened to him, and I know it was hard to watch, to see somebody that you love slowly withered away. And then he get close to him and saying, knowing that it'll be you one day and that's your own future and all this shit. But on the bright side, at least you get to have a snatch waist. And I see you over there looking at the little queens that you be looking at, the bush queens and stuff like that, just gawking at them. I was like, where's all this nastiness coming from? Okay, next thing you know, Pray Tell got up and punched that little bitch up in his face. I said, that's what you deserve, and walked the fuck over his body. I said, I know that's the goddamn right, because he was just doing the fucking most, and for what? Ain't nobody do shit to Lamar, okay? I just didn't understand it. Baby, this episode, this part right here, what I'm about to tell y'all, it reminded me of the episode last season when Damon found out that Ricky and Paytel was together and put all their asses on blast at that dinner, okay? And the lecturer walked past and said, woo! That was what it reminded me of, bitch. So they sit at the table. Pray Tell, he was in his feelings and all this stuff about how come ain't nobody acting concerned or whatever, can't get into the hospital for Castle. And Blanca trying to tell him, it's after visiting hours, so we can't do nothing anyway. We'll talk to him tomorrow. Okay, so he not eating. He talking about something he don't eat after 9 o'clock. He just drink wine because of the antioxidants and shit like that. Next thing you know, they started talking about how uh they're gonna give him a vacation or whatever. And then they was like, what, it's not my birthday. And then it was like it was a a little rehab or some shit, and he was like, okay, I mean, I guess I have been going through some shit or whatever. He was receptive to it at first. Up until Poppy said something about, they was like, how we gonna pay for it or whatever. And Blanca was like, yeah, here go the money, from the ball and stuff. That's what we was doing this for. And Poppy put out there that, yeah, Lisa said that we needed to do this or whatever. And it was like, Lisa said, who the fuck is Lisa? I said, damn, Poppy. Okay, at this point, shit just went haywire from right here. Because they had to tell him who Lisa was, a counselor, drug intervention, alcohol intervention type of person. And, he just wasn't receptive. At this point, it flipped because they trying to read their letters to him and all this stuff or whatever. Blanca trying to read her letter. Of course, he not listening because when she get through talking, he say all I heard was gibberish. Okay, Ricky tried to read his letter and basically was saying, you taught me how to love, but at this point, I feel like my love is being pushed aside and I'm being trampled over. Okay, and if you don't change what you're doing, I'm going to have to leave you. And of course, he basically said, bitch, so you gonna leave? Who the fuck are you to say that you gonna leave? You ain't gonna do shit. You ain't worth shit and all this stuff. You ain't no man. You a little boy that's trying to be a man that can't be a man and all that shit or whatever. He went clear smooth off. Ricky got up and left, okay? And then at this point, Angel was trying to say something. And then he said, bitch, if I wanted some advice from a fucking crackhead, I'll go out there on the street and get one. I said, oh my goodness, okay? Oh no, we are not about to do this. At this point in time, Electra got fed the fuck up and she was like, okay, bitch, I'm finna read my letter. Called him, it's a shame that I know you doing all this because your life just completely fucked the fuck up and all this shit and you this and you that. And he said, bitch, hold the fuck up. You not finna come for me when you a granny old bitch, okay, with a whole bunch of dusty ass furs, with this illusion of grandeur, okay, and you going home and you sleeping in an empty bed. Bitch, who the fuck are you? And Electra threw that cup. Bitch, don't you fucking talk about me. Don't you say shit to me like that, okay? And next thing you know, he started going off on Poppy because Poppy tried to get into it. And was like, Poppy, you ain't shit because you up here just living off of Angel success and shit like that, bitch. And that bitch a fucking crackhead or whatever. That's what you need to be working on, trying to get that bitch clean and all that shit. And Poppy was about to go off. They had to hold his ass back. And at this point, Pray Tell left and Blanca was trying to come after him. And he read Blanca too and said, bitch, you doing all this trying to, the reason why you got these kids still here with you is because you lonely and your life, you living a sad life and you trying to act all selfish or whatever, selfless or whatever, but you basically searching for love and you ain't happy your damn self. And just because you got the doctor, he just treating you as an AIDS HIV charity case. That's what it is. I said, oh my God, he read everybody up in there, okay? And Blanca was trying to get him before he left. And, she was trying to say, I understand. No, you don't understand my life and all this stuff and woo, woo, woo. And he was just going off. And then it just didn't get better from there. He gets home. He's he's making himself a drink. Ricky comes out the back and he got a suitcase in the bag and he was basically like, I'm leaving. And he was like, oh, so you leaving? So where you going? Okay. He was like, listen, first of all, I just can't be my mom and stay in an abuse in a relationship just because I'm scared to live on my own. Okay. A relationship that's not benefiting me not at the moment. All right. And at this point, of course, Pray Tell gets up in his feelings. And of course, he starts spewing all this nasty shit at him. And it's not making him know the situation any better. But then, he's trying to be like, I don't care if you leave. Go ahead and leave or whatever. Do what you ever gonna do. So Ricky put the keys down and he went to the door and Pray Tell gets up and like, oh, so you really gonna leave? You ain't talented. You ain't got no skills. You didn't finish school. Bitch, the only reason why you was really here is because don't nobody want you because your ass is HIV too. And so that's the reason why you came over here to me, bitch. I was like, oh my God, so you just... I was just like, this is too much. This is too much. And then, Pray Tell was struggling with Ricky, was like, no, you not leaving. You not leaving. Everybody leaves me. Everybody leaves me. Everybody leaves me. Don't leave me. I need you. I need you. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God, what's going on? It had me going through my emotions, bitch. I'm sitting here crying. I'm sitting here crying because when he broke down, bitch, I broke down because I knew it was coming. I knew the breakdown was coming. And he was hugging all up on him and was just like, please don't leave me because I need you. I need you. I need you. And Ricky, I'm glad that Ricky did not give in and stay because it was an unhealthy environment and he just said no. And here go Pray Tell, well, get the fuck out, and then when he leaves, of course he has his little breakdown. We get to Angel and Poppy, and he done made a whole little dinner or whatever for them, and to celebrate the fact that he got her to be the model on this Calvin Klein perfume ad or whatever. And she was like, she wasn't as happy as he would thought she would be, but it was because she said she wasn't expecting to come back so soon. And I was like, wait a minute, girl. In episode 1, you was talking about how it's been a minute since you've been in a campaign or something. Now you don't want to, because she's focusing on her sobriety now. She went and actually took the initiative to talk to Lisa, tell her everything that was going on and how bad the drug problem really got, and she trying to clean her life up. And Poppy was so here for her, and I was like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. Like, Poppy and Angel love, bitch. I still can't believe Janet did that to him, but okay. I gotta stop, okay? Because this is fiction. Life ain't a fairy tale, bitch. But anyway, Angel, not Angel, but Blanca, she gets over there to Christopher house. She all pissed off at him because he didn't say nothing or whatever. And, he was like, well, my mama wanted to talk to us or whatever. My parents want to have a do-over. So I'll stand up for you then. And so at this point, basically, the mama tried it again. It was at a French restaurant. She's speaking oui oui merci, voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir, all that to the lady in the menu and shit like that, because she was like, what you want, Blanca? She was like, to be quite honest, all this looked like a bunch of gibberish or whatever, and so she was like, you didn't learn the language when you were in school. And we did find out last week that, in the first episode, that Blanca had a hard time in school, because she found out that she was dyslexic, okay? And of course, she was made to feel stupid because she was dyslexic and didn't realize that that's what she was. And so you got this woman who's uppity, upper class black woman who is looking down on her, thinking that she's not good enough for her son, and telling her, oh, didn't you learn the language in school or whatever? She was like, I took Spanish because, my mom, she speaks Spanish, but she wanted us to speak English and all that stuff. Well, why not try to speak French so you can be trilingual and all this shit? And you know what? Blanca just had it up to here with that bitch, and she just went smooth off and said, I'm this, I'm that, and then she put out there, I'm a transsexual, okay? Mind you, dude, I wasn't there yet, okay? I said, where the daddy at? Where the daddy at? Come to find out, he treats transsexuals. And Blanca said, bitch, ain't shit wrong with me, and I ain't need to be treated or whatever, so don't treat me like them motherfuckers. It is what the fuck it is, okay? I'm in love with your son. She looked at Christopher like, bitch, what you gonna say? You gonna just sit here? And of course, it looked like he was, but then he stood the fuck up. He said, mama, this my woman, okay? You talking about something, you had a vision for my life, and that's what it is. Parents have a vision for their kids' lives or whatever, but they have to understand you can't be upset when it doesn't go the way that you thought that it would go, because your kids will grow up and they will come into their own, and they will have their own hopes and dreams, okay? They can't live for you. They got to live for them, all right? And granted, she didn't understand the fact that why would he want to be attracted or be with somebody that's transsexual? You want a family and all this stuff. He was like, Blanca is my life, okay? And if you can't accept that about me, bitch, that means you're going to lose me. Now, you can go and talk to daddy and you can tell him what was up or whatever. And if there's any issues, you could tell a nigga where I stand at, okay? And they walked the fuck out. I said, all right. Blanca gave him son that night. Pray Tell met up with the other two guys from the council, his friends, and apologized for everything that was going on, trying to get himself together. They was talking about Castle. They haven't heard from him ever since he went to the hospital. And Praytel was worried because they went to his house and found out that all his medicine was gone. And he remembered what he said about if he was going to take his own life, he'd take it in the Four Seasons room. And so Praytel went up there and found him, and he was like he was going to do it, but he just couldn't do it. And he was like, I still want to live, I still want to live. And so he made a vow, you have to want to live too, and all this shit. You got to get your shit together, I got to get my shit together. And so that's what really brought it back home for Pray Tell. He met up with Blanca, and basically had a little breakdown in the hallway. She understood what was going on, and she drove him to the rehab place. And that was the end of the episode. Another great episode. I enjoyed it. It was like an hour and 15, 20 minutes, bitch. Okay. So these reviews, I feel like if it's still going to be like over an hour episodes, we're going to get longer reviews. So, I'm enjoying it. I put my all into these. Y'all tell me how y'all felt about them. And I will see you guys later. I'm in tag and I got to go to work in the morning. Peace out, y'all.